It's that time again. It feels like only yesterday that a new season started and we had a gluttonous amount of new shows to attempt to consume. But then, 3 months pass, and we do it all over again, and we do it gladly. Now that spring has become summer and the heat goes up, we get all lethargic and we want to do nothing but lounge in front of our screens and watch anime. Or is that just me? Doubtful, I'm sure. I have scoured through the chart of upcoming gems for the new summer season, and I've collected what I feel to be the best possibilities for shows that you might want to watch. As usual, this is based entirely on very little information that we know about the upcoming shows, even though some of them have already started to air, and it's very possible that I will miss a series or two that'll end up blowing us all away. In fact, I always hope for such a situation. But with the information that I have and trying to keep a keen eye open, ladies, gentlemen, and others, my name is Arkada, and here are the top 10 anime I am anticipating for the summer 2018 anime season. Normally I turn that into an ish, because I rather like using ish in top lists, since I inevitably go beyond the limits of what I myself set, but in this particular case, everything just happened to work out evenly. I don't know if that's a good thing. Regardless, it's time to get started. Let's jam. Alright, so let's kick off this list with the big 4 sequels that are airing this season. Firstly, by mentioning that Attack on Titan Season 3 is starting soon. While the hype behind Titan was a bit lower than I expected back when Season 2 aired, I fully expected to kick back into high gear now that it doesn't have to compete with Hero Academia anymore. You know, for people's general affections. How it progresses through, though, will be interesting, because I doubt that we will be seeing a conclusion to the overall story this time round. The manga is still quite a bit of ways ahead of the anime. On the plus side, though, rumor has it that this 3rd season will be a full 24-ish episodes, and that is a lot to try and cover ground with. With luck, that'll be enough. Also airing this season is the continuing utter insanity that is FLCL. Technically, this has already started, but FLCL has a bit of an odd release schedule, with Progressive only having started a month ago, and Alternative starting in September, which is before the fall season kicks in, so this is where I get to mention it. If you've seen the wacky antics of the original FLCL and like that sort of thing, then this new season is most definitely something that you should be paying attention to. If not, well, honestly, I'd say to keep a keen eye on it anyway, because the original FLCL is about the length of a long movie, and the 2 new seasons aren't that much longer either. So from a time commitment standpoint, the show is very low maintenance to keep track of, and if your circle of friends is anything like mine, FLCL is a hot topic right now. So watch it. Overlord is also getting a 3rd season, following up Season 2 in less than a year. It came far faster than I expected, but that speed is appreciated. And the last big sequel on my list goes to the 3rd season of Free, following up the previous 2 seasons and film that the franchise currently has. And the summer is the perfect time to watch the continuing stories of these hot guys in swim gear, if that happens to be your jam. If that's not your jam, then I'm not sure how you might feel about this next entry on my list as we move away from sequels and into new shows proper. From the creator of Baka and Test and the director of School Rumble and Sakamoto Desu ka comes Grand Blue, a story about a new college student who moves out to Izu City to help in his uncle's diving store. While not looking to be specifically as male-focused in its cast as much as Free is, I still feel that this hits the same number of beats in its presentation, so fans of Free might want to check this out, unless it turns into a massive bait and switch as far as fan service goes. Who knows? We'll have to see. Most sites online are listing it and its manga under the ecchi category, so perhaps I am completely off base and the female cast will be extremely prominent in more ways than one. But even if it is, it might be something worth checking out. You know, maybe Keijo fans will get a kick out of it. We'll have to wait and see. Up next, in a little bit more of the insane category, is Chio's School Road. The description for this show just talks about how it follows a high school girl named Chio and her daily commute to school. Huh. Honestly, that doesn't sound all that interesting, is it? Is it just 12 episodes of her on a subway or what? Turns out, no. In actuality, her commute to school is anything but ordinary. From the directors of one of my favorite comedies ever, Desert Punk, comes this wonderful looking slapstick take that will probably end up being my weekly dose of WTF for the next 3 months. Honestly, while part of me feels like I should have a few more things to talk about it, I think most of its trailer speaks for itself. This looks amazing, and I'm really excited about this one. But we have limited time, so we must continue. Next on my list is Hanebado. I probably screwed that up. A series that makes this list not because of the staff attached, the studio producing it, or anything that I normally use to gauge how much potential a show has. This one is purely here because of its trailer and how well this series looks to be animated. Now, it is a sports series, and like most sports series, our interest in it might be tied heavily to how much you like the sport in question. In this case, badminton. Now, I don't know much about badminton myself. I'll be honest, as far as I know, it's just tennis for rich people. Like that one scene from Disney's Robin Hood is my only experience with the sport, but I'll be happy to find out more about it and the kind of person that plays it if it looks this good. At the time of this video, though, episode 1 is already out, so hey, feel free to go give that a watch after this. I know I will, except I have to finish making this video, so, but hey. Do you remember an old series called Osmosis Jones? It's about the cells inside the body of Bill Murray who have, like, lives of their own and lived in ways that explained people's biological functions. You ever thought, hey, let's make that an anime? Not only that, let's get the director of Drifters and the second season of Stardust Crusaders in there. Let's have David Production animated while we're still waiting on our hands for JoJo Part 5. And for a curveball, let's get the person behind the series composition for CHIO'S Season 2 to do the series comp for this. This show is going to be insane and fantastic, and if it's not, I will be massively disappointed. Disappointed! Moving on. So this next one is an interesting entry. On the surface, Happy Sugar Life looks to be a heavily moe-infused ball of slice-of-life goodness, too good and too pure for this world. But that's how it gets you. Look at the genres that the story belongs to, and finish watching the trailer, and then you start to realize, oh hey, this is a horror series with murder and psychological elements. I bet that Happy Sugar Life isn't gonna last very long, is it? I fear the possibility that the twist here might turn into a gimmick that'll lose its luster after the first initial episodes, but if the writing is solid from a character perspective for this one, we might have a new favorite yandere-like character to add to people's top lists. Who knows? Anyways, second to last is Angel of Death, another one that makes this list based purely on its trailer. While not as visually impressive thus far as hanebado, the idea of the leads being trapped in a building that they need to escape from is interesting enough that I'm willing to give it a shot. Plus, hey, apparently the original material came from an RPG Maker video game that's available on Steam right now. And I'm all for that sort of storytelling being brought to the small screen. Hell, I'll probably actually have to go and play the game now since that's not usually a thing that's made available to us. So, looking forward to seeing how interesting that's going to be. Lastly, on my list is High Score Girl, a series about a 6th grader who is, quote, the best video gamer ever, which sounds like a Mary Sue type protagonist, until the point where he gets his ass whooped in Street Fighter 2 by a classmate. I'd like to take a moment and appreciate the nostalgic fact that they're actually using Street Fighter 2 in this instance, and not like recreating some anime-esque knock-off. It's very appreciated. So the story is following their budding relationship, and I'm curious to see how they input gaming into that. Plus, the series seems to be relying quite a bit on 3D animation, at least in the trailer, so I'm interested in how that's gonna end up playing out. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen and others, my initial take on the new shows coming out this season and what may be worth watching with luck. With luck, some of these may turn out to be very successful, and hopefully some shows that I end up missing will end up showing up and stealing the limelight and blowing us all away. So what out of these shows do you think might be worth watching? What did I miss that very obviously I should not have? Let me know down in the comments, and a very special thank you to all of my patrons who make these videos possible and support what I do here. It's very much appreciated. Really, truly is. And an even bigger thank you to patrons Joshua Garcia, Calhoun Boy, Siri Yamako, Victor Ekmark, Ryfen Bonaparte, and Rune Jacobson for being extremely awesome. awesome. And until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and others, watch more anime and stay frosty.